On today's edition of the Local Lap, we've got Sioux Thiel Memorial Race highlights from the Dodge County Fairgrounds in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Bill Holland's In the Groove segment, a Local Lap Extra, and more. So stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Eric Wilkie, the tire specialist of the number 41 Sprint Car, and the Local Lap starts now.
The Local Lap is brought to you by Tri-City National Banks. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Visit any of the 44 bank branches serving Southeast Wisconsin and let them help you with all of your banking needs. Visit tcnb.com. And by QPS Employment Group. Whether you're looking for work or looking for talent, QPS is your staffing solution. Visit us at qpsemployment.com. Now, your host of the Local Lap, Jim Tretow.
Welcome to the Local Lap, where the racers and fans stay connected. We'll start this week's edition with Bill Holland's In the Groove.
He's right at home at Luxembourg Speedway, but going on the road is what took Benji Lacrosse to his biggest career triumph. In 2005, Lacrosse became the first Wisconsin driver to win the IMCA Modified Super Nationals in Boone, Iowa.
It was a real good thing, and I think a lot of people enjoyed it, and I definitely did. And it was something that made, I think, the whole town proud. You know, it was a big deal at the time, and you know, hopefully someday we can do it again.
Lacrosse followed his Super Nationals win with the 2006 IMCA National Points title. 1 year later, Green Bay's Jared Seifert, another Luxembourg regular, also won the IMCA National Championship.
We had lady luck on our side. We had a lot of luck that year, and you know, you're right. We couldn't duplicate it, and I really even haven't tried ever since. You know, it's one of them things where everything went right, and we really enjoyed it, and I'll savor it forever.
So in just a couple of years, Luxembourg Speedway becomes home to an IMCA Super Nationals Modified champion and an IMCA National Modified Points champion. Exactly how does this happen?
Racing at Luxembourg it's a tough track. It's a smaller track than any other track out there, and it's really a learning track. I mean, I've always heard from drivers, and everybody tells me if you can win at Luxembourg, you can win anywhere, and I think that's a real true statement because it doesn't take a lot of horsepower. It takes a lot of car setup and driver skill.
Not only our class, but all the classes here are very, very tough competitors here. Every one of them, you know, it shows even in the points, in the national points sometimes, and they do switch them points, how they work sometimes. Sometimes it's a disadvantage for us, but the years that we did it, it was kind of helping us somewhat, but it just shows that the competition's good.
You know, and I don't know what it is. I think it's the attraction of a lot of the veterans and a lot of the good young talent that comes up. It just seems like it's a real hotbed for a lot of real good competition. And, you know, I guess I'd agree with that 100%. You know, I feel like we can go just about anywhere and be real competitive. And I think, you know, 75% of the guys here can do the same.
We'll see that skill on the third mile as the green flag flies in the IMCA Modified feature. 24 drivers stand on it, and we're racing. 3 wide, even 4 wide back in the pack with Benji Lacrosse right there in the mix in the 54. Here's a couple of veterans to keep an eye on, drivers who can get the job done. Brad Roloff in the 03, Eddie Munster out of Green Bay in the 5 car. Up front, it's the black 25 of Russ Reinwald leading Dan Ratajczak, the Frog Station Flash in the 73. Reinwald puts on some miles to race Luxembourg. He's from down in Juneau, Wisconsin, and making the most of things tonight. Farther back, Jared Seifert in the 66 tries to fight his way through the traffic to get to the front. Ratajczak is strong in second, but he's trying to hold off Benji Lacrosse in the 54. As these two battle side by side, Reinwald is pulling away. This one will go caution-free. On the last lap, Benji Lacrosse is charging, but this one belongs to Russ Reinwald. taking his very first IMCA modified feature ever at Luxembourg.
We've been coming here on and off for probably 6-7 years, and I've never been close. The best I've ever done is third. Tonight is wonderful. We're not very consistent yet. We don't run a lot of nights that some guys do, so I mean they get a little bit of advantage from having extra seat time, and and I think that's a big part of it. But tonight I guess we just kind of hit it right, so look forward to trying it again this year.
At Luxembourg Speedway, I'm Bill Holland in the groove on the local lap, where the racers and fans stay connected.
Once a year, racer Dan Thiel promotes a race in honor of his late wife. The 9th annual Sue Thiel Memorial was held at the Dodge County Fairgrounds in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Let's head to the big half mile with Dean Strom.
Dean Strom on the local lap. We are at the Dodge County Fairgrounds in preparation for the Sue Thiel Memorial here on the local lap. One of the divisions competing tonight is the Mid-American Style Sportsmen's. Don Source Jr., driver the number 99, welcome to the local lap. Tell us about your season so far in 2010.
We normally run at Beaver Dam. Been doing pretty good. I was third in points, a couple breakdowns ready. Looking forward to running with the Mid-American cars. Never done that before with the asphalt cars, and hope we give them a run.
Since the 1993 race season, the Mid-American Stock Car Series has competed only on asphalt tracks throughout the Midwest. That all changes tonight at the Dodge County Fairgrounds as the series takes part in the 9th annual Sue Thiel Memorial. In addition to the Mid-Am Series, the field includes a number of Dirt Grand National cars. Dirt regular Kevin Rank will lead early in the white number 54 with asphalt competitors Travis Rodewald and Bill Preetzel in hot pursuit. Quickly, we move ahead. 2 laps to go, and Preetzel leads over Don Source Jr. in the red number 99, while Kenny Richards in the black number 9 and Tommy Moore in the yellow machine also give chase. While Bill Preetzel has spent the past several seasons racing and winning in the Mid-American cars on the asphalt, he is no stranger to the dirt, having begun his racing career in 1977 on the dirt of the Hills Corners Speedway. White flag, and Preetzel has opened up a 3-car length advantage. Preetzel keeps the RPMs high and rim rides around the big half mile, while Source keeps his machine glued to the bottom groove. Can Source reel him in? Source is a dirt track champion who has dozens of feature wins to his credit. The last corner of the last lap, and Preetzel hops the cushion, opening the door for Source. Down to the checkered they come, and Preetzel nips Source by a fender to take the win. Bill Preetzel began his racing career on the dirt over 30 years ago. A lot of victories, a lot of different racing surfaces. Back on the dirt, Bill Preetzel, how much fun was this tonight?
This was an absolute ball. I had a ball tonight. I never dreamed we'd win here. I was hoping we could be competitive. And we didn't have the best car. We got out front a little earlier, and I tried the bottom on the restart, and it wasn't for me. And I knew Donnie was right there, and I figured he'd just drive under me, but I went over to cushion one corner. He was in the infield, got sideways the next corner. We equaled each other out, and the drag race, I won to the finish line. I don't know how it happened, but I'll take it. Donnie ran me hard. I knew he would. I figured Kenny was going to get there. Kenny had to start a little farther back. I don't know if he had an issue or whatever. This is really cool. I like this. To come back and run this one time and to run as good as we did, I'm tickled. I'm just tickled.
Bill Preetzel is a very happy winner here in the Mid-American Stock Car Series portion of the Sue Thiel Memorial. Stay connected with where we're going next and more. Log on to www.thelocallap.com.
When we return, we're heading back to the track with more of the Sue Thiel Memorial. The local lap is brought to you by Plymouth Dirt Track, bringing you affordable family fun and entertainment. Racing starts at 6 p.m. each and every Saturday evening. For upcoming events, visit their website, PlymouthDTR.com. Big game tree stands. Until you've hunted out of a big game tree stand, it's hard to know the meaning of rock solid. To find a tree stand that fits your needs, visit their website, BigGameTreeStands.com.
Spring, summer, fall, winter, or racing season. Any season is the right season for Rapina's Secret Seasoning. Order your secret seasoning at rapinas.com.
Welcome back to the local lap, where the racers and fans stay connected. Let's head back to the Dodge County Fairgrounds.
Dean Strom on the local lap, and we are here at the Dodge County Fairgrounds in preparations for the Sue Thiel Memorial. caught up with Davey Ray. Davey, welcome to the local lap. We were talking off camera about your family history. Why don't you tell the viewers about the Davey Ray family history here in midget racing?
Well, the history in midget racing is pretty extensive. My dad ran midgets for the good portion of his life, and that was kind of a natural progression for me to move into midgets when I was 18. And Dad won the Badger Championship in 1977 and the Rookie of the Year in '73. My mother's father, John Heisdorf, won 4 car owner championships with Badger with 4 different drivers. Over the last several years, we're able to win the 2003 Badger Championship for Ralph Wilkie. And again, just kind of keep going here and building up more wins as we go.
Heat race action for the Badger midget portion of the Sioux Thiel Memorial, and corner number 3 takes its toll as first, fast qualifier Travis Berryhill takes a tumble. He was okay and would actually return for feature action. That same heat, same corner, Brandon Welty takes a wild ride. Welty was not hurt, but his car was done for the night. 15-lap feature action, and at the drop of the green, the orange machine of Davey Ray jumps out to an early lead, while Mike Hess tries to settle into the second spot. Matt Smith in the white number 1, however, has different plans. He'll blow past Hess on the outside, and check out the bold move up in corner number 3. 3 wide for the lead. Smith comes out on top. Hess and Davey Ray try to battle back, but the Australian will rim ride all the way around the flat half-mile Dodge County Fairgrounds, and he'll pick up the win. Hess, the Badger midget point leader, has to settle for the runner-up spot, while Davey Ray rounds out the top 3. On the 4th of July weekend, and an Australian comes to the States and steals the show. Matt Smith, congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I don't know if you guys like that over here, but, you know, just got to take them when you can get them.
Talk us through lap number 1, turn 3, 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah, I knew if I wanted to get them, I'd have to try and drive around them, so I just jumped off above the cushion there. There was some good, you know, some good grip out there, so just, I don't know why someone else didn't go up there.
You've only been here in the States a couple of weeks. You pick up your first feature win. How big is this?
Yeah, this is big, being the Sioux Thiel as well. You know, I ran in 30 last year, and I don't know, it's just something that I really wanted to get, you know, so it's good. Good money, too.
We're on to the headliner for the Sioux Thiel Memorial at the Dodge County Fairgrounds, the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Series and their 25-lap feature. Beaver Dam, Wisconsin's Scotty Neitzel and Philip Mock lead the field from row number 1, and at the drop of the green, it is all Neitzel in his orange and silver 2W. By the completion of the first lap, the hometown hero has opened up a half straightaway lead. Tommy Sexton, an IRA winner earlier this year, settles into the number 2 spot, while Mike Kircher runs 3rd. Check out the field as they fan their way around this beautifully prepared, super wide half mile. Up front, Neitzel stretches it out, rides the cushion, and quickly comes up on lap traffic. He'll have no problem at all with the back markers. 4 cautions allowed the field to reel Neitzel back in. They also aided Iowa's Terry McCarl. Here he races hard with the 1 HRP of Todd Hefner. Mike Reinke in the yellow 02 takes the spot from Kircher, all the while trying to keep pace with Neitzel, but to no avail. Neitzel, a 2-time IRA Outlaw Sprint Series champion, continues to hit his marks, putting that big right rear tire right on the cushion. He'll grab the checker to capture his 2nd Thiel Memorial win in 3 years. Terry McCarl starts 12th and finishes 2nd in his first race back after an early season arm injury. Mike Reinke settles for 3rd, with Tommy Sexton and Billy Baylog rounding out the top 5.
A heck of a run tonight, Scott. The car was great. throughout the entire race, no matter where you're putting it, correct?
We had a pretty good car other than the time I got it down in the grass there. But other than that, these guys, we just keep picking away at. We've been right up front all year and just haven't pulled off a win. And I feel like they're giving me a better race car, and I've been driving it all year. And they just told me tonight we'll do the same thing we always do and just drive it as hard as you got it. We want to win, not run second or third. So that's what we tried to do all night. And we struggled a little in qualifying, and we changed quite a few things. These tires are a lot different, but they work. You just got to learn to work with them. So I got to thank T&D Jewelry. All my sponsors, Falby Auto Body here from town. Without them people, we just couldn't keep doing this. So, and it's great Dan Thiel's doing this. I'm a friend of the family for many years, and we're just glad to pick up our second one of these.
Well, give it up tonight's winner for the Sue Thiel Memorial, Scotty Neitzel here from Beaver Dam.
Stay connected with where we're going next. Log on to www.thelocallap.com.
We're going to take a quick pit stop. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Local Lap. We were there the first time the Wisconsin Dirt Late Models raced on the new 141 Speedway in Francis Creek, Wisconsin. Bill Holland was there. Let's go to the highlights.
You're looking at racing history at 141 Speedway as the Third Mile Oval hosts the Wisconsin Dirt Late Model Association for the very first time. This is the first ever Dirt Late Model special here at 141 Speedway. Prior to the 2010 season, this track was a paved quarter-mile oval. Now it's a banked third-mile dirt track. So no one, literally no one, has a home track advantage here.
We've got some great guys coming, the Anvilings, both Terry and Nick. You throw those two in there along with Pete Parker, Russ Scheffler, and his brother Rick, you're probably looking at 50 track championships and probably 600 or 700 career feature wins. So those guys have some pretty impressive resumes that they bring with them.
Only one driver can be the first to win a late model feature here. It's Waukesha's Rick Scheffler in the black 15 and Glenn Beulah driver Tim Bueller in the 7 on the front row. We're green, and it's Bueller, a former track champion at Seymour and on the half mile at Antigo, out to the early lead. Behind the leader, it's a battle of the 15 cars, with Scheffler trying to hold off Navarino driver Nick Anvilink. Farther back in the pack, they're fighting for position. Brad J.J. Miller in the 89, Randy Marquardt in the white 3 car, Gordy Siegert's 4, and the 8 of Bob Cullen. Can anyone fight through the field and get to the front? One driver to watch is Russ Scheffler in the 74. Many championships on his resume. It's heating up in the fight for second as Nick Anvilink will make his move and take the spot from Ricky Scheffler. They're in striking distance because the leader is in heavy traffic. 3 wide and Bueller into the tire. Hard impact on the 7 car and the caution is out. Officials ruled the lap car caused the yellow and Bueller keeps his position. Back to green and keep an eye on Rick Scheffler making the move past Anvilink to take over second. And he has his eye on the leader. The 7 car might have damage and Rick Scheffler will wheel past to take the lead. Late in the going, we have a big mess in turn 4. Tom Nayard in the 9, Billy the Kid Resetek's 8 car, Jim Richtich and Brett Swedberg all involved. After the cleanup, it's back to green and smooth sailing for Rick Scheffler. He'll take the first ever WDLMA feature at 141 Speedway. Nick Anvilink runs second with Russ Scheffler third.
It was one lane racetrack. It was kind of where you started. And fortunately I started in the front, but I had to work my way back a little bit. But everybody's the same turf, so everybody guesses in their setups and you just go out there and do the best you can.
Is that kind of a fun deal for you guys to get to a situation like this where it's nobody's home track, where there's a little bit of an unknown and there's guys from different tracks coming to to see who's the best guy that night?
Yeah, it's definitely more fun. I mean, otherwise you run your local tracks week after week, and once somebody gets that figured out, it's pretty much the same scenario. Same winner every week, and it's always fun to come to a new track where nobody else has been to. And I understand a couple of these guys have been here practicing here and there, but it's the same turf for everybody, so it's pretty fair racing, I think.
At 141 Speedway, I'm Bill Holland on the Local Lap, where the racers and fans stay connected.
We're now joined on the Local Lap by 3-time drag racing champion Bob Hood and 2-time IRA 410 Sprint Car champion Scotty Neitzel. And these guys are now working together, and we really have to start with you, Bob, on how it came together, but let's go back to the beginning. When did it all start for you as a racer to get this involved in motorsports?
Well, I was a young kid, And growing up, my dad took me to Wilmot every Saturday night. That was our ritual. Then I got my driver's license, got out of high school, and wound up at the drag strip with my buddies, and that changed everything. Then I wanted a drag race. 15 years later, we won 3 championships, set a bunch of fastest ET awards, best appearing car awards, things like that. It was fun, but time to do something different, and my wife Dawn and I decided to put together a 360 sprint car to run with the MSA up at Plymouth and Manitowoc. Got to know Scotty, got to be friends, and the next thing I know, we're racing together.
And Scotty, for you, it has to be kind of neat to have an opportunity to race with a championship drag racer, but it really kind of started out as a parts opportunity at first, right?
Yeah, I think it started out as Bob looking to buy some parts, and I think our personalities hit it off quite a bit, and we talked about him interested in putting somebody else in the car at Dodge County, and we get around there pretty good. It's kind of stress relieving for me. It's a lot of fun to go up there. There's no real pressure to win races or to win championships, so we just go have some fun, and it's just different to show up with your driving bag and run some laps for somebody else, work out of his trailer, not your own. It's just a different environment for me. It's a lot of fun.
And I also think it's nice for Scotty. He gets to race against his other good friends. Jeremy Schultz in the 5J, he races out of their shop. Lance Fosbender is Scotty's cousin. You know, they have a good chance to race each other and have some fun doing it.
And Scotty, because Bob's real particular about how his cars look, what is it like to race his race car? And is there any worries about, geez, if I hit that guy or if I get too much mud on this car, he's going to kill me?
I think there was in the beginning when we first started, but once you put your helmet on, a real racer, I think, just focuses on racing. And I told Bob when we initially talked about it, I said, you know, we do this at Dodge County, we could win or we could hang it in the fence. And he said, we'll put another one together. So I felt pretty good about that, and we're just going to, once we go green, we're racing, we'll just pick away at it, just like we were in the 2W car.
We wish you guys continued success. Thanks for joining us here on the Local Lap. Scotty Neitzel and Bob Hood.
He may be a young driver in the pure stock class, but Cale Marzofka's name and number are famous in Wisconsin short track racing. Cale's grandfather, Marv Marzofka, carried the 91 to hundreds of wins in his stellar career.
It's awesome, especially when it comes to stories. My grandpa's got the best stories about running with Waltrip and Marcus and Mark Martin and all these big name guys who are big everywhere else. But for him to say, yeah, I kicked his butt at one point, is pretty cool.
Fans still talk about Cale's grandfather here, even though Marvelous Marv Marzofka hasn't raced in over a quarter century. And he's not the only third-generation driver carrying on a proud family tradition. At mid-season, Colin Refner tops the Superstock point standings at Golden Sands Speedway. Colin's the grandson of Wisconsin racing legend Tom Refner.
I never really got to watch my grandpa really ever race. I mean, other than when I was a really small kid, I really don't remember much. But just in general, I mean, I just try to be a good hard racer and just try to win as much as he did. And I go out each and every week trying to win and just win championships like he did.
The Superstocks at Golden Sands can put on a show, and we're ready for feature race action. Aaron Schlew in the 45 and Roger Peterson in the 82 bring the field to green, and this one's underway. Trouble for Zeke Zilke in the 70. Scott Sigilski in the 21 and Dwayne Davis caught up in the wreck that started when the 70 broke an axle. Pat Barrett throws the caution. Back to green, and it's Colin Refner making the pass on David Poggle's old school number 409 Chevy Impala. But the battle for the lead is right here. Aaron Schlew in the 45. Roger Peterson back behind the wheel after years out of the race car. Peterson in second has a lot of experience here going back to the 90s. But Aaron Schlew will lead this one from green to checkers. It's his first feature win ever in a Superstock.
It's pretty awesome. I really got to thank my mom and dad for helping me out a lot, and Jared Littner for coming down and helping tonight. And pretty awesome for my first time on the track this year to come out and win a heat race and a feature in the same night.
At Golden Sands Speedway, I'm Bill Holland with your local Lap Extra.
Stay connected with where we're going next and more. Log on to www.thelocallap.com.
Every Monday night at 6, join racers and fans for the Racing Roundup Show, a comprehensive motorsports radio program aired weekly on racingroundup.net and on Milwaukee's ESPN radio affiliate 540 ESPN. The show features local drivers and covers NASCAR and the world of motorsports. Tune in to the Racing Roundup Show. There's links to racetracks and more racing highlights on our website, thelocallap.com. Thanks for watching this edition of The Local Lap, where the racers and fans stay connected.
Promotional consideration has been provided by Big Game Tree Stands, Scottfield Builders, and by Ray Graphics. Post-production facilities for the local app are provided by Caveman Productions.